Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our 2013 NFL team preview for the San Francisco 49ers. We're going to break down their offense, their defense, as well as their special teams to see what we can expect from the Niners this upcoming season.
In what was essentially his rookie season, Colin Kaepernick put up some impressive numbers. This guy completed 62% of his passes, 10 touchdown passes to only 3 interceptions, and also rushed for over 400 yards. Constantly kept the offense on pace, and his game-breaking skill set made the 49ers tough to defend offensively. And what's underrated about his game, everyone wants to focus on his running ability, but he's deadly accurate with the deep pass and does a great job of driving the football across the middle. That right there is tough to defend as well if you're a cornerback. And I feel as though we're watching a new age Randall Cunningham. The 49ers definitely found their quarterback of the future. I love the depth in the backfield for the 49ers, starting with Frank Gore, who is only 1,200 yards away from joining elite company as one of the only players in NFL history to rush for over 10,000 career yards. Very underrated running back throughout the course of his career, despite coming in with 2 ACL surgeries, and also is a valuable asset in a passing game. And they get back Kendall Hunter, who possesses the suddenness that makes it difficult to tackle him in the open field. He's a guy that has starting running back potential. He got injured later on in the season, so we don't know how healthy he'll be to start the year. So they'll depend on guys like LaMichael James, who stepped up big in the latter part of the year, as well as into the postseason, to provide some of those plays that Kendall Hunter was able to provide. And they also count on Anthony Dixon as well. But all eyes will be on 4th-round pick Marcus Lattimore, who's coming off one of the more gruesome leg injuries we've seen. And this is a guy that has all the talent necessary to be an effective player in the National Football League. But what's going to happen, he's probably going to use this year as a redshirt year. The 49ers have the luxury of having depth in the backfield where they don't have to rush him back. And whoever's going to be back there running the football, whether it be Gore, James, or Hunter, they have the benefit of having Bruce Miller as their fullback, a guy that's quietly blossoming into an all-purpose player. They're involving him more in the passing game. So all in all, this is a very good running back core for the 49ers. Michael Crabtree was coming off his best season last year as a pro, 85 receptions, over 1,100 yards, and 9 touchdowns, but suffered an Achilles injury in the offseason workout program, and he may miss the entire 2013 season. And they were expecting him to team up with Anquan Boldin, who came over in a trade with the Baltimore Ravens to form one of the more potent 1-2 combos in the NFC West. That would have made the transition much easier for 2 younger players in last year's 1st-round pick A.J. Jenkins and this year's 4th-round pick Quentin Patton out of Louisiana Tech. Both guys will have to put their big boy pants on and be ready to play, because last season's free agent signee, Mario Manningham, is returning from a severe knee injury that he suffered late in the season, so we don't know how healthy he'll be starting 2013. Both guys are capable, but they're still unproven. At the tight end position, Vernon Davis is entering his 7th year as a pro and is one of the best tight ends in the game. It's because of his speed and versatility he'll be flexed out as a wide receiver at times, helping out the entire receiving corps. This year, backing him up will be rookie 2nd-round pick Vance McDonald out of Rice, who's replacing Delaney Walker, and McDonald possesses the same type of skills as Walker, although he's not as dynamic. A wild card to keep an eye on would be undrafted rookie free agent Marquise Gray out of Minnesota, who played both quarterback and wide receiver in college, and he could give the Niners another athletic option at tight end. The offensive line is the real reason why the Niners are so good offensively. They can pass protect just as effective as they can run block. Their starting 5 is arguably the best in the league. They're solid on the edges with Joe Staley and Anthony Davis. Tough and athletic on the interior with guards Mike Iupati and Alex Boone. And center Jonathan Goodwin is one of the best in the league and as stout as they come, entering his 12th season out of Michigan. They've also done a great job building depth along this offensive front with Joe Looney and Adam Snyder. Both guys are able to play multiple positions, and they're grooming Daniel Kilgore to be the heir apparent at center. The offensive line wasn't an issue in 2012, and it won't be an issue in 2013. You can ask Aldon Smith how valuable Justin Smith is to this 49ers defense. Justin Smith is entering his 12th season in the National Football League and is more than likely to be ready to go at 100% this year, thus helping out this defense as a whole. At the other tackle spot, Ray McDonald, who shows tremendous ball get-off, and that allows him to be an excellent penetrator up front. Gone is Isaac Sopoaga from the nose tackle position, so they utilize two guys with unique skill set to try to get the job done. Ian Williams will step in and be that good run defender on early down and distances, while free agent signee Glenn Dorsey will see time at the nose in pass rushing situations while providing depth behind Justin Smith. Also keep an eye on 5th round pick Quentin Dial out of Alabama, who played in the 3-4 defense at the nose tackle spot for Nick Saban. And the 49ers got themselves a steal in the draft with Cornelius Carradine out of Florida State. He provides excellent pass rushing skills, and that'll give the 49ers versatility with their front and their personnel groupings. Eldon Smith broke the 49ers single-season sack record with 19.5, and I know it's tough to tell a guy who just had 19.5 sacks to get better, but Smith couldn't buy a sack once Justin Smith was out with injury or was playing with an injury. As an edge rusher, you have to be like a shooting guard in basketball. You got to be able to create your own shot, and that's something that Eldon Smith can improve on this season. Opposite of him is Ahmad Brooks, who plays the game with a combination of speed, power, and intelligence, and he's coming off a 6.5 sack season. And they're going to also get back Paris Harrelson, who missed the entire 2012 campaign with an injury, as well as adding another pass rusher in the draft with Corey Lemon-Wild of Auburn. On the inside, you won't find two better linebackers than Patrick Willis, who's a 6-time Pro Bowler, and Navarro Bowman, who's a 2-time All-Pro, and actually led the team in tackles last year, and some say he is just as good as Willis. The depth behind these guys is where I have the question mark. They bring in Dan Scooter from the Cincinnati Bengals, but he's more of a special teams type guy, and the hope is that rookie 6th round pick Nick Moody out of Florida State, who played a little safety in college, can play inside. 49ers have two outstanding cornerbacks that do a great job in jamming wide receivers and being physical at the line of scrimmage with Carlos Rogers and Terrell Brown. Terrell Brown is a guy that has better ball skills than Rogers and is looking to get a contract extension with San Fran. And in the offseason, they bring in Nnamdi Asomugha from the Philadelphia Eagles to provide the depth at the nickel spot and play on the outside in certain situations to go along with Parrish Cox as well as Chris Culliver. So they're solid at the cornerback position. When you look at the safety spot, Dante Whitner is a guy that still strikes fear in the hearts of receivers and running backs alike. This is a guy that does a great job not only in the running game but also in pass coverage. And behind him is Darcel McBeth, a very underrated swing safety that can play free safety in a pinch. Now at the free safety spot, gone is Deshaun Golson, who moved on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers via free agency, and in comes 1st round pick Eric Reed out of LSU, who in my opinion is a clone of Deshaun Golson. So that's a guy that they can replace him with. Same type of ball skills, same ability to run up and make a tackle. He just has to take better angles to the football, and that's the one knock I had about his game. And they bring in Craig Dahl via free agency to help ease that transition just in case Reed isn't ready. Dahl comes over from the St. Louis Rams, where he's used to playing a physical style of defense. '49ers are banking on experience with a longtime Cleveland Brown kicker Phil Dawson coming over via free agency, and Dawson is the guy that hit on 93% of his kicks last year, and most importantly 7 out of 7 from 50 plus. And the 49ers have an excellent punter in Andy Lee, so the kicking game is fine. Lee averaged 48 yards a punt last season after 2 seasons ago averaging over 50, so this is a very good kicking game for San Francisco. The return units will look a little different. The 49ers allowed Ted Ginn to walk via free agency because they knew what they had in return of LaMichael James, who did a great job last season averaging almost 30 yards a return. Now let's take a look at what the 49ers have on the roster. Number one, a great group of linebackers that can not only get pressure on the quarterback, but also can drop back in coverage. They have a legit game breaker at the quarterback position in Colin Kaepernick, and overall, they're very fast, both offensively and defensively. Now what the 49ers lack, quality depth at the safety position. We touched on that earlier. They don't have the health at the wide receiver as of yet, and there's a lack of depth at the inside linebacker position. They're hoping a rookie can fill that role. Reason for optimism for the 49ers, you look at a team that's mostly intact from last year that was one play away from winning the Super Bowl. So this is a very good team that can get back to where they were last season. Cause for concern would be if the younger wide receivers don't step up early on in the season as they're recovering from injury with their veteran players, because that early part of the season they're facing Green Bay, Seattle, Indy, St. Louis, and the Houston Texans. They're going to have to step up in a huge way. The road to the Super Bowl for the 49ers goes as follows. Number 1, Kaepernick takes that next step and enhances his game in year 2 as a full-time starter. Number 2, if the defense remains dominant, they can easily get back to where they want to be. And 3rd, if the younger wide receivers are able to step up in the early parts of the season, this could go a long way in getting the 49ers to appear in back-to-back Super Bowls. Have the 49ers finishing second in the NFC West. I still think this is a very tough football team and will do a lot of good things this year and even get back into the playoffs. But right now, early part of the schedule looks very tough. I still have some slight questions at the receiving corps. Still have to take that wait-and-see approach to see if those young guys can step up to make it easier for Colin Kaepernick and the rest of that passing attack. And I also want to give a huge shout-out to 49er fan forums for always showing football game plan support.